Port versus starboard. You think I remember? I work on bass boats. I don't know. Port side of the boat refers to the left side when you're facing the front, the bow, not the transom. While the starboard side refers to the right side in the same position. These terms are used to avoid confusion and ensure clear communication on the water. Okay, so then you read this and it says remote control comes from factory in starboard side mounting configuration. Run out of battery. Somebody smoking some barbecue or something. Or maybe it's the smell of this plastic. What a trip. It's like it smells like barbecue. Concealed side mount. So we're going to put it on the side of his helm. So what we got? User guide, concealed side mount remote control installation user's manual. Let's just look at this right away. So contents, got a arm, looks like this is our main piece that connects, so we're gonna have to go drill a hole. I've got some hardware, so yeah, you're gonna see this, but there's going to be this piece and then this piece. The cables will connect, and then this piece is on the outside, and then the arm goes through that. Anyway, that's how you kind of connect it, but then this goes in. And I have to figure out how they have that handle attached. Should just be a nut. So yeah, our cables will go this way. So before, the cables were going up like this, coming out of the floor, going up in a big S. Now they'll just be going straight. Use drill template, concealed side mount remote control. And it tells us on page 19 for cutting mounting holes. Remote control comes from factory in starboard side mounting configuration. Port side mounting requires reconfiguring of remote control. Refer to the port side mounting on page 13. And then it says if remote control must be mounted at a 30-degree angle above or below the standard horizontal mounting position, rotate template 30 degrees in the required direction. So we're not gonna have to do that, but cut along the outer line of the shaded area, use the appropriate cutting tools. Oh, good. They give us a template. It's right here on this. I was hoping they would. So there's our template. Alright. So I don't know what size hole saw they're asking for. So, you know, that's a, what is this? Should tell me somewhere. I thought. Oh, right here, 3.5 inch. Okay, so what we doing? If we're doing it this way, that's for port, right? So we need this hole right here. Okay, and then we have this piece. So this inside diameter line up our marks. This is this side. Okay, so it's making sense to me now. I mean, that's 2.64 inches. See on here they say, okay, from here to here, okay, 1.3 inches is where we drill. So we want to say, if this is top, this is top. That's why we're drilling there. So then they should have put where you want to drill the hole saw is. That's 2.64 inches. So even if we did a 3 inch, 3 inches is that wide. Is that right? No. Two and a half inches. But it's not that because they got this come out a little bit. Yeah, like 3 inches. So yeah, I think of 3 inches. So what are they saying here? .9 inches. Okay, so 3 inches. I don't know what they mean by this area. It needs to be notched out. Oh yeah, probably because when you put the handle on, so this, okay, I hope you follow me. Basically this area needs to be out, so a hole saw, but this is gonna have to be notched, so we can only have like an inch, and then you know, however wide that is. I don't think it does. It tell us how wide? Half an inch. Okay. So a 3 inch hole saw. Yeah, let's just see. Yeah, should fit in there just fine. Okay, and then we can drill this by our template. And this is our cable for our or neutral safety switch. Got to wire that in. I guess we got 2 more. And then it took me a minute to get set up to cut a hole because those hole saw bits, man, I mean, that's all it is, man. Okay. So I guess in our pack, they're gonna give us some stuff. Let's see if they do. yes, they give us 2 pins, 2 cotter pins, and it looks like our washer, there's 2 big washers that are gonna go for it. So that's good. And then there's a little piece that we can put in here once, you know, because like we're obviously gonna come in both cables right here. And that's gonna be all there is, but we need to go out and check this thing out and make sure it's good. Find out where we're gonna mount it now that we got our hole saw. Got to make some marks. Alright, I'm up in the boat and brought out some stuff, you know, it's like measuring tape, you know, make sure we're square. Got our pieces, and then I also brought out this to give us a good idea where we can put it. We got to make sure, like, where we put it, nothing like that radio is going to be in the way. I'll lay down there and see what I can figure out on that. And there's not going to be enough space for you, but we can kind of imagine it if he's here. You know, we'd love to have it like right there, but I don't know that we got enough space, you know, with that radio being right there. So maybe I can go a little bit like that, but see, our cabling needs to go straight down. So, you know, if we can go here, I'll try, but I think we have to go a little bit more out. We can go all the way up to there, it looks like. I wonder if these are removable, then we could take a look down in there. Oh, that's another thing. So we only have like so many inches here. Okay, so maybe I brought out a little pencil. Try not to scar it up, but we got to make some marks. From the top, we're going to say 3 inches, so we know that at least, so if that's 3 inches, this would be below it, so it's going to be somewhere right in there. Yeah, that's 7 inches. And then, you know, it looks like it doesn't go back very far. See, we already have holes drilled, so I think we can literally go right there. So if I'm standing here, if I go, you know, about right there, so say it was right here, it's gonna have to go more this way. So the mark we made up there, still trying to figure it out. I'm gonna lay down in here and see what I can figure out, because this will play a big role in the whole deal. See what we got to deal with. You know, it's not maybe that bad, but I think we're okay. I took some inside measurements, and I've determined this is about where it's going to have to go to miss the cup holder and it not leaking into the remote control, because, you know, there's a hose there, so that will just drain through. You can get a plastic hose and then run a drain hose down. We may have to do that. I've got a punch out here, and I'm just gonna punch the center of this a few times, and if you saw that, but alright, this will probably be about the 3rd time I've checked this, but I made those 2 marks and it seems like it's kind of low, but The problem is you have the radio, you've got that cup holder and drain that you have to deal with. So I kind of stuck myself up in there, and I think I measured 3 inches is the bottom of that cup holder. So then you got to give a little room for this guy. And what it is, like this shows like the very top of it. Okay, so I'm gonna check that again, but once we drill our hole, we'll have to cut a little bit of this out, and we'll have to drill this hole. And that one is it says 12 millimeter. I don't have millimeter drill bits, so we'll figure it out. I mean, it looks like a 3/8 or something. Oh man, I've checked it out about 3 different times. And you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Like, you gotta have enough room. And the bottom of that cup holder is 3 inches. So I mean, I could go up a little more. I gave myself an inch just because when I had that up in there, it was kind of like I couldn't go this way either. So I think we're just gonna commit. Oh, that's the other thing. I think I noticed this, like, we can't put it here. If we put it here, we'd be going right into that. So we're gonna have to come over at least a 1/2 inch, you know, so that it can clear, and then your hand's not gonna clear. So I need to try to get it over here. That's why I was hoping I could get, oh yeah, I think even if it came over, oh yeah, like I can kind of see it here. Even if it came over, like I see that, oh yeah, it could come over like 2 inches. Alright, well, let's do that. Right, there's that, but then we look at this. Wow, I'm probably making this way more difficult than it needs to be. So if I make that hole right there, that's what I mean about those instructions. I don't think I can almost see right through it. So put my finger right here. Seems like it needs to be, so it needs to be, oh. This is gonna have to come over. I'm getting it now. Looks like we're gonna have to do this. At least this one. Here we go. Run out of battery. Here it is. Alright. You can see our hole is, where's that? I'll line it up right here, right? Yeah, it was right there. Somebody go get the drill bit for that and drill that one out. It really doesn't say what size drill bit you're supposed to use, so this will work. I don't know, is it 30 seconds. I just kind of measured it to that remote handle. Alright, I'm getting a little more excited because we're over the hard part, really. So yeah, I was saying I just need to put my cotter pins in. They give you a whole bunch of hardware, and yeah, it's got the remote down here, so see if I can fish out my cotter pins. I got some dikes out here. Alright, these directions, they don't really make any sense. They did give you an extra control box template, and I checked to see if they were the same, and they are. So we're in. Now what we have to do, I think, is get this plate on, and you're gonna put some screws. I brought out some Loctite. And put some Loctite on these screws so it don't ever back out. I'll just use this thing they had given us for template, I guess. And then they got these two. So I think it's like we got 3 of these, 4 of those, and then there's 3. I don't know if they give us like to help lock it on there. I'm still trying to figure this out. And they got some locking washers, little bitty washers. So I'm not sure. This is just gonna go right through here. So you can't. None of them washers are gonna work. And but anyway, yeah, I just put some Loctite, just medium strength blue. We're gonna drill a pilot hole, so then that'll suck this thing in. So it looks like there's like 4 screws or something. And then you got this guy. So this guy's just gonna go right there on that pilot hole. And let me see what they got for that. Let's see. Let's find a drill bit. Match up. Basically something like that. So then we got this thing, and this piece just goes in here, like depending on where you want your remote to be. So like we got a remote right here. Well, we're gonna have to feed the wire, back up through here. So, that's the only thing that, whenever you come around, you're gonna go through there. Now, I know I'm gonna not need this connector, so I'm just gonna cut it off. And because I'm gonna end up rewiring and just solder and go straight to the trim. So, let's see here. So this, again, like, I don't know, you have to match it up with there, and then what, because this goes like this, right? But if we want the handle to go in this direction, So I think you take these pieces off. That's right. Alright. I'll have to look this over again. Okay. So like I said, these directions aren't making sense. So we're going up and down, so we're not like this. And so it's just going to depend, you know, like this would have been better, like go that way, but it's just all about how we have to feed these wires through. So you almost have to put this in and then figure out where you want it. So like here's like this or whatever, you know. I think this will probably be okay. I'm sorry, yeah, it's got to be like this to match up. So what we're going to do is we're going to feed this around. I don't know if you can see this. Feed this up around, and then we're going to go through here. You know, when the cool thing, I guess they make you a little slot. So that's going to go like this. But the problem is we have our cable needs to route down through here. So no big deal. And then the other thing is you need to have this on, so I think we can go ahead and don't get caught on me. And this hole is going to route to right there. Now we can put this in. Alright, I figured it out. So this is the thing that locks it on. It's got a, you have to take this off. You got 2 screws. I guess we'll put some Loctite on them. It's got a lock washer though, so we don't need it. So never mind that. I guess we can see how we did. Yeah, we missed the bar and everything. Yeah, it seems to be shipping good right now. Let's see what happens when we hook it up to the boat. So we'll have to figure out which one's which. Get these out over here. See if I can figure out which one's which. Well, that turned out alright. It's in a pretty decent location. You can't really, like I said, it can't go up. So it'll just have to be right here. And then you miss the bar. You know, I guess somebody with bigger hands. Oh yeah, we just kind of do, don't we? If you do like this and push with your hand, you're fine. You know, I didn't mount the deck. Maybe he can even move it a little bit if he needs to. I couldn't come this way, you know, didn't have enough room, so I had to go this way. You know, more in that way. Made a couple marks. Put a sticker, nobody see it. I'm gonna cut this off. I gotta wire this thing up maybe tomorrow. So I got a switch already done, but I've got to do the kill switch, and then I got to do the neutral safety switch that's in here. Thanks for watching, subscribing, liking the videos, and if I can help you, that's great. If I can't, move along. Man, there's some people who dislike the videos. That's weird to me. Like, you would dislike a video. Like, I just move along. I don't even, you know, why are you going to dislike it? That's just being, that's just being mean, you know. Like, I don't know, maybe they're thinking, well, if I dislike it, then YouTube's gonna go, oh, he didn't like that. And so, but I ain't hating on you. If you just like it, then, you know, you're out of here, and we're doing something else every day. All right, it's the next day. Still working on the Limacraft. Got the remote in. I hooked up the cable, just the shift cable, and when I went forward, it was in reverse gear. Which means that according to that paperwork, it is not, it is doing what it said, but we're kind of like flipping it around. So like on your boat on the helm, usually they're a concealed side mount, and you're on this side. So, you know, you'd be doing like this, right? Where this one now is like 180 degrees. So what I have to do is I have to flip that back, take it back off. The mounting piece, that at least I'll have to cut the hole and all that, so it should go back together quick. But I have to take care, I'm gonna have to go in there and like take apart some linkage, and it does give you some direction on how to do that. So I'm gonna have to take the thing apart so that it will work. It's just, I guess I'm a big dummy, I don't know. So, but I didn't think about that. Like, it is right. They talk about port starboard, you know, so it says that it's set up for starboard, and you know, you would think of it like I'm talking about, like you'd be this way, you know, which would kind of make sense, because then, you know, your trim switch is over here. On this, the trim switch is on the side, so it's different. It's almost like we could have put it on that side, but then you're still left-handed, so like a right-handed guy, you know, this still would work. It's just I'll have to fix it in the box. All right, so basically here's what we got to do. We got to take these cables right here, and then we got to move them to this side right here, and then we got to take this and we're going to swap it around. This end will be over here, this end down here will be on this side. So this end will, so this turns 180 degrees, it'll be now on this side, and that bottom one will be over here. So I'm gonna have to take these back off, these cables back off, and get my docks in. And then I've got some circ clips, C clips, anyway, have to get out my little pliers, and it looks like a bolt, and just flip this. That's what I'll have to do. You have to take, in the directions it tells you to take this off, and then this is going to move to this other side. So that's the, I guess one of the first things you want to do, I guess. I'm going to take it off so it doesn't get damaged. Alright, it says to take, we got to take this off. Remove the dwell plate retainer. So grease kind of holding it down. And then it says to remove this piece, and it's got a circlip. Alright, so I'm going to try to lay these out in order. Did I do the right? No, I didn't even do the right one. I got to take that one off anyway. right? Because it says we need to take this piece off first. Maybe it's about dead. The battery's about dead. Alright, there's that. Alright, so we'll do this. And then they said to remove this. Okay. And then we're taking off this. Which is this piece. Which I guess is this whole piece. So then I think we have to take off this, and we'll end up moving over here. We gotta take this bolt off. Alright, let's figure out what it is. Like a 10? I bet it's 10. So basically we're gonna take this, we're gonna move it over to here. So we're just gonna set this to the side. Hello. I'm over here. Hey, what's happening? Yeah, I'm over here.
I'm working on it, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying.
How you doing today?
Pretty good. What's going on?
Oh, not much. I brought the boat. Just tell me where you want me to put it.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Yep, no problem at all.
Alright, we installed that. I put this on here because this was the way this was installed. So this, I guess, goes like so. And then this was riding inside this. But on this side, this was like this, right? And this was down like this. So in order to make this like this, we need to take this piece off and flip it around to this side. At least that's what I think. So let's see if I can get it off. It's real tight, but I think it's just, you know, this is just got a little lip. Maybe I gotta get another screwdriver, or maybe I can use this one. I don't know. It's coming off. It's just being tight. So yeah, we're just gonna flip that to this side. Let's see if we can get this thing back on here. There we go. Now, yeah. Dang it. Get on there. Oh. Duh. I'm wondering if this went here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that went there. So I'm gonna have to go back and look at this. Alright, I got this thing back together. I kind of checked it too. I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. I put this piece back on. I'm going to go ahead and hit it with some Loctite tensioner bolt thing back in. And And I gotta put the cables on it. Over here, I just gotta figure out which one of these cables it is. I think, yeah, I think it's that one. Yeah, so this is our throttle. This is gonna be our shift. And so this is the part I'm gonna have to figure out, because it's I don't know if it's gonna be in the right location. I may have to take it loose from the engine back there. Maybe not. Yeah, we'll see. See if that'll last. No. Yeah, dude. No, that's the right one. Okay. Sticky, man. I know it's right now, that's why I'm putting it on. Probably go ahead and put the back cover back on too, because I don't know. I don't know why. Why? Alright. It's doing what it's supposed to do now. So I kicked it into gear. Go clockwise. I can see that dude turning now. And then go back over here and put her back in neutral. It's still a little hard, but it's not near as bad as what he had before. That should be neutral. Not quite. So we might have to adjust our cable a little bit. I mean, that's okay. I think it's just what it is. That cable's a little tight. It's got to kind of, when it's running, it probably is not, I don't know, it may not be as bad. I can put the little warm-up lever, and that disengages the clutch, and then you can put it in the warm-up mode, and then I've got to put on the throttle cable and check where we are on that, see if they're right or not. Kind of tuck this stuff out of the way. Anyway, I got stuff. These clips are actually pretty easy. The first time I did them, I was like, these make no sense. So I had this just kind of on there. Take this back off. Can't see anything I'm doing because there's a cage in the way. So I don't know, even if I set you guys over here, I guess I can do this and maybe talk to you. I don't know. And the more you kind of go backwards, you'll get it started enough that just don't drop it, you know. Famous last words. Yeah, there we go. Use all my meat hooks. So now it'll be different. So if it's up here, I'll have to change this out. But yeah, it's weird. So, you know, I mean, I guess you could, but you got this arm. So you can't really do that. You just gotta get, like I was saying, your meat hooks in there. As oh, I forgot about him too. I gotta call him. Oh, almost. Okay, there's the hole. That'll do that too. That'll, you know, because no matter, well, yeah, we gotta go a little tighter. Now we're not loose like that. Yeah, I don't want any play in that. That's why you gotta get it taut like that anyway. That should be good. But I gotta walk away from this project. At least for today. I got it on there. We're back in neutral. This is not right. So it should go back, you know, so we're gonna have to pull this tight and fix that. That's why I wanted to shift it a couple times, because when it comes back to neutral, it's gotta, you know, it's gotta be tight against here. So that's just as simple as this right here, getting that taut. That should be good, but maybe it's too much. Let's go back one, maybe two turns. Yeah. Okay. I mean, it looks good. It would have been better than what he was doing, but now I'm wondering if there isn't a problem somewhere back here. You know, maybe the lower unit's got a little bit of a shift problem. Could be. Could be needs some grease down in there, but I don't know. It could be also one of these cables was kind of bent that we put up through there, so fixing one problem and making another. Thanks for watching all the way through. You're part of our awesome community. Love this video? Hit subscribe for more adventures. The best way to support us is at hawkeyemarine.net. Shop outboard powerheads, lower units, and top quality boat parts. It fuels our content and keeps you on the water. Visit today. We'll see you next time.